I was just waiting for the perfect comment to bounce off of to hit the unmute button. Dude, someone said I tried the opening Microsoft Edge trick alongside Chrome and it works. I don't get it. Thank you. That's you're the second person. That's not a large amount of people. But there's something crazy about like if Chrome starts to hang, open Edge like on the other monitor and Chrome like kicks it into gear. There's something going on with the computer architecture. I think it is like it's like when you're the valedictorian in class and then you're like, "Oh, I'm clearing the rest of these kids easy." And then some kid moves to your school district from another school, all of a sudden you get a 98 on an essay, they get a 99, you're like, "Oh shit. Time to start smoking weed. I guess this academic stuff isn't for me." I don't know what it is, but oh wait, here we go. Maybe this is it. I hear there's a chromium bug with CPU usage when you have different refresh rates on your monitors. World's smartest software engineer? Chromium bug refresh rate. I don't even know. I'm not smart enough to even know how to Google this. I guess I shouldn't be Googling it. I should be using Chat GPT or Bing. Coming up with a cut from his new search engine, Bing. Take it away. Hang on, by the way, I'm stalling. YouTube took too long to process my videos last night. I was unable to set yesterday's stream videos to the appropriate place on the schedule. So I am doing it right now. I made the thumbnails. There you go. There's one Super Auto Pets video I don't recommend watching. There is a Super Auto Pets video I do recommend watching. Can I tell you as well? I gotta set this London video live real quick, which means I gotta do some typing because there hasn't been a whole lot of London videos for me to take the metadata from. But I did non-hard mode weekly, recorded yesterday for YouTube. Holy cow. It's the easiest game of all time. You can, if you're not on hard mode, you can take whatever you want and get 10 piece. It's not even a challenge. It's beautiful. I wasn't the one time I took the meta build and I was like 10 piece. One time I was like, okay, I'm going to do the exact opposite of the meta build, 10 piece. They just give it to you, man. I'm starting to think they need a harder mode. You know what I'm also thinking is that maybe when you play hard mode, you are going up against other people that are playing hard mode. You just don't see the effects of the hard mode. Like those effects aren't actually being played out in the multiplayer. But that means you're going against fucking psychos like you who play only on hard mode, which means they're normally going to be like really good at the game, which means you're exclusively playing against meta Martys. We're back in normal mode. I'm dealing with the chaff instead of the wheat, and it's amazing. By the way, I'm not going to do this because I'm a nice guy, but Chiblee made that tweet. I can't remember if it was on his main or his alt. That was like, I'm honestly proud of myself for traveling to Los Angeles and meeting so many people. When I was younger, I was too nervous to order my coffee with oat milk from a coffee shop. I was just going to reply to it, and I was going to do the thing where you at Jar Jar Binks bot, and then it turns it into like if Jar Jar Binks tweeted it. Misa's so proud of myself for traveling to Los Angeles and just a little goof. I thought it would have been funny, but I didn't. It's not toxic. I was in the same boat when I was like 16. I remember it was March break or something like that. And I was like, oh, I want to go to the like video store. And I mean, this is how old I am, I guess. I was renting DVDs, not VHSs. But I was like, oh, what'll they think when they see me walk into the video store? They'll be like, oh, this fucker's, you want to see a movie, huh? I bet that's why you're at the video store, huh? Oh, you like movies, you piece of shit? Anyway, I did go. But I was like nervous the whole time. I was like, I gotta pick a movie that'll like really impress the clerk at the video store. I don't want them to make fun of me. Misa gotta choose a video that is muy impressive to the clerk. Anyway. I'm willing to get banned for spamming Elden Ring randomizer. Well, are you? Everybody's gangsta, but I'm the only one who sees, well, me and the mods are the only ones who see the unban requests. People will type, "Ooh, I want you to drink whatever leakage comes out of my anus. I don't care." And then they get banned and they're like, "I'm sorry. I must have overstepped the line of acceptability. I didn't know. Even though I was timed out 2 times for typing the exact same thing previously, I didn't know that that was the line. I won't do it again. I was simply trying to be humorous. I was trying to put a smile on the face of chat and the streamer." You remember that ban request word for word? It's because like a minute after the stream was supposed to start, I was like, "Oh, I should check my unban request," and I unbanned that guy. I don't keep people banned too often here. It's largely, I mean, I've said it before, it largely depends on the on-ban request. If the on-ban request, if you said something like horrendous, I mean, to me personally, not to society, and the on-ban request is like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking," then I'm like, sure, people go crazy from time to time. But if you say something that's even like innocuous, and then in the on-ban request, you're like, "A tip of the cap to you, good sir. You have found me, I've engaged in a bit of malfeasance. I was merely trying to perpetuate a ruse on the moderators of this fine area." I'm like, well, your ass is done, like, forever. That's just weird. Buddy, you're weird. When was the last time you went crazy? I don't know. People think I go crazy on stream. I don't go crazy on stream that often. I'm very well grounded. Sometimes I put up a veneer of insanity, but inside, just thinking about PE ratio of the S&P 500. I joined and you were yelling. That's not losing your mind. You got to lose your mind if people fucking cyberbully you and you just sit there and go, "Yeah, I'm a little piece of crap. I deserve it." Fighting back and defending yourself is not going crazy. That makes you the only sane man in a crazy world. Some little kid who's like 15 years old, probably lives in a town, he's got the only DSL modem in his entire area code, is like, "Oh, your head's a little extra shiny today." And I'm like, guess what, motherfucker? Good luck graduating into like a job market where automation has made 90% of human labor completely irrelevant. Every single company is owned by like one of 6 roll-ups that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Get ready for the real world, motherfucker. Hope you've been cultivating some skills. I gotta tell you, by the way, and we've come into the stream a little hot today, just to begin with. These are all genuine anecdotes. The names have not been changed to protect the innocent. I tried cereal with milk because so many people told me I was crazy for not. What the hell is this menu? The guillotine menu? Do not, okay, wait, this is too close to the start of the video. Do not put your wee-oo into the objectives menu. Some of you guys are cool. Do not put your wee-oo into the objectives menu. Okay, so yes, I tried cereal with milk because everybody, when I said that I consume my cereal without milk, people lost their minds. Somebody said, "How are your teeth not broken?" Now that person was clowned on a little bit. On top of that, hang on. On top of that, people said you're not experiencing cereal the way it's meant to be experienced. You're missing out on that milky goodness at the bottom of the bowl. I told people I don't like milk. I don't like milk. I don't like chocolate milk. People said try it with oat milk. Okay. I didn't intend for this to happen. But here's the chain of events. By the way, if you love big ambitions, I apologize. But we're just, look, my sliders are all full right now. We're at Costco. My wife previously bought a Costco set of like make-at-home bubble teas. But we never stock milk in the house except chocolate milk for the baby. So she said, "I need some milk." She got a 3-pack of oat milk. All of a sudden, we got oat milk. I say, I consider myself a scientist of the mundane. I'm not stuck in my ways completely. People say cereal with milk is better. I'm going to give it a try. I pour, and this is like, now I'd say at this point I've had 3 bowls of cereal with milk. It tastes 94% the same. You guys have gaslit yourselves into thinking that if you were out of milk, you can't eat cereal. It's almost exactly the same. It's a little bit colder, and the cereal is a little bit softer, and that's it. Otherwise, it's It's borderline. I mean, you would definitely 100% of the time you would know that you have milk in the cereal in a blind taste test. But it's like the difference between. I'm telling you, it's the difference between a B and a B plus on an essay or something like that. It's not a major difference. It's not the, and the reason I'm saying this is not to say like, oh, dry cereal's better. It's to say you guys lost your minds when I told you I ate dry cereal. Like I was crazy. They're almost exactly the same experience. Maybe your teeth are like calcium deficient or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're waking up. I'm breathing in the chemicals. Also, one in chat, please, if you're familiar with the cereal called Vector. I was telling Bear Taffy this in the Discord last night. He said, I've never heard of Vector. Sinvictus said, what the F is Vector? I was embarrassed. I thought Vector was like a well-known cereal. So instead of typing what Vector is, I just typed they don't know Vector, Keck W, and then didn't reply. Anyway. Where I'm from, Vector is a mid-level marketing company. I think it's the same, or multi-level marketing. I think it's the same here. I remember my friend did a job interview, quote-unquote job interview at Vector Marketing. And the interview was he just shadowed the other marketer while they tried to sell books out of like a wagon outside of Walmart or something like that. And then he was like, well, that's the interview. Do you want to go get lunch? And my friend was like, sure. And then they went to McDonald's and he was like, oh, I forgot my wallet. Can you pay for it? Which is like the ultimate red flag, I think. If you go for a job interview and the person interviewing you asks you to pick up their lunch, do not take the job. 75 meters squared? Sure, why not? Deposit $745, electrical appliances $120, daily rent of $25. That's nothing. I'm going to start a new business. It's going to be a donut store. Is that a donut? Coffee shop. 6 competitors. Yeah, but none of them are selling donuts, man. None of them are selling donuts. Not that, sorry. Coffee shop. Enter the name of your business. I'm going to name it... I mean, you could easily make it like Grand Theft Auto 5 style. You could call it, you know, Glazed Holes. That's an easy one. But I'm of the opinion that... And Vancouver's a bit of a donut town now. But they're always like... They're half artisan donuts. It's not quite at the San Francisco or Portland level where, you know, every single one is injected with like KY jelly and is shaped like a Mobius strip or something like that. But they all have names. They're all called like Lee's Donuts. They're all called like Lucky's Donuts. Pardon me. They all have like a man's name or a dog's name with like an apostrophe. So I'm just going to call it, what's a good dog name? I'm just going to call it Snoopy's. You could picture people on r/NYC being like, don't go to Joe's Pizza. If you really want a New York treat, walk down to Hell's Kitchen and get yourself a half dozen donuts from Snoopy's. You got to try the old-fashioned. It'll totally work. Traffic index sucks, but listen, we're going to build this traffic index up ourselves. They're always talking about Nathan's. Again, I know we've been through this many times as well, but I have to say it. My experience in New York, I was there for 3 days in 2019, 2018 maybe. It must be 2018. Either way, everyone was like, you gotta have pizza. Met up with some real New Yorkers, including Rob. Hey, what about this pizza place? No, you can't go there. If you're only here for 3 days, you got to go get like the best New York pizza. You got to go to like Joe's on 35th or Joe's on 35th. Like you get 2 New Yorkers together that start arguing about like which location of a franchise is like the best one. You can't go to the one there. You got to go to the one in Alphabet City. Are you crazy? We want to walk across town to Alphabet City right now? We'll take the Z train. The Z train is out of commission. It's out of... So anyway, long story short, this sort of like song and dance went around for like basically all the free time that we had available for 3 days. And my ass did not have any pizza in New York because we couldn't agree on what pizza was the definitive New York pizza to have. So catch my ass eating essentially nothing. I went to Japan and had no sushi. It happens. You know what still pisses people off? Kate and I still talk about the response that we got to this. We were in Japan for like 2 weeks. We ate McDonald's once out of curiosity. So many people who have literally never left their hometown and probably never will got up in our Twitter mentions. I can't believe you're in Japan and you went to McDonald's, sanest North American of all time. Were I there, I would exclusively dine at the restaurant from Jiro Dreams of Sushi every single day. No, your ass would be at the Konbini every day. Eating the same, you'd be eating like reheated, air-fried tonkatsu sandwiches, and you'd be like, oh, it's so tasty. Oh, whoa, the chicken cutlets are so different in Asia. You fucking don't even start with me. Your ass eating like barbecue chips from the convenience store in Japan, being like, oh, it's so much better over here. Itadakimasu, motherfucker. Okay, I see we got French fries, salads, hot dog, pizza. Anyone else have a toddler that loves the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse TV show? Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Now something, do, what you waiting for? Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Hot dog. Yeah, they might be giants, did all the songs apparently. Listen, it's not their best songs, but it is kind of a cool Easter egg. My nephew's crazy about that. I felt so... I mean, you know, let's construct a bit. Let's give him the old Reddit switcheroo. One of the things you realize about being a parent is that your kids pick up your habits, good or bad, just from observing you. So you got to be on your best behavior. So led me to re-examine the way I live my life. For example, this morning, my daughter has new rain boots. Her old rain boots... she wore them so much they started to like get holes worn into them. So we got her new, well, really Kate got her new rain boots. She was so excited to wear them. When she was going out to daycare today, she said, I'm gonna wear my rain boots to Costco. And then I realized, oh, it's like I saw a reflection of myself. I was like, oh no. She's so excited to go to Costco that she doesn't even realize she's not going to Costco. She's going to like a building with a bunch of other kids her age where they're going to do arts and crafts and like run around and play games all day. And I can't break her heart and tell her that she's not going to Costco because she'll cry. But then, oh, I took a wrong turn. When she left with Kate and then she saw that I wasn't leaving the house, she knew something was up. She was like, I know, like, Daddy would not be missing out on a Costco trip. So she started to, like, well up a little bit. And then I was like, love you, have a good day, and I closed the door. Okay, hey, I'm driving here. Costco's a dream for a kid with all those samples. I mean, the problem is that the samples are like, I mean, I think the samples is sort of, you can interface with them if you want. And if a sample table doesn't have a bunch of people around, which is rare, then sure, I'll go and I'll pick up a little ramekin or something like that. But it's one of the easiest ways you could find yourself being frustrated in Costco is like trying to hit all the free sample tables. Because there's just, unless you want it more, but there's honestly just like more people out there that are more degenerate than me. I'm not going to wait 5 minutes in line to get a little piece of frozen pizza or like a 1/16 of a piece of bread with, you know, a little marmalade on it or something like that. Oops, I put my hand truck in the Mimic. I put my hand truck in the Mimic. I don't care. I park it. It's always crazy to me that that's a Charlie XCX song. Because it feels like that song is from like 2008 and Charlie XCX is like straight from 2014. Hey, by the way, I had a a crazy moment of realization on the Peloton yesterday, not today. There was a song by I was gonna say Iggy Pop, but it's very different. There's a song by Iggy Azalea that does not sound like an Iggy Azalea song. Can anybody remind me? Because I forgot the name of it. What that song is? What's Iggy Azalea's most famous song that doesn't sound like it's by her? Come on, Fancy is by her. That's like the most Iggy Azalea song of all time, next to New Bitch. It's just her words, not mine. No, not Black Widow. It was like a very famous song that I did not know was by Iggy Azalea because it had no rapping section. It was just her singing, and I was like, she sings? I thought all she did was her. Hang on, Tomo wants to get out of here. There you go. I'll tell you also, it is it featured a. This isn't trivia. I need your help. It featured a male rapper, and I don't remember who the rapper was. You know, listen. Give me a second here. This is engaging content. I'm opening up my Peloton app. I'm going back, because this is going to bother me. I'm going into my workouts. I'm going to guess that was a 30-minute pop ride that I did yesterday. Let me check out the track list here. Problem, featuring Iggy Azalea and Ariana Grande. Okay, Ariana Grande, it turns out, is not a male rapper. I misremembered that. Listen, when you're doing like 90 minutes and these are songs you've never heard of, sometimes the songs get a little bit jumbled in my head. Also found out Last Friday Night was by Katy Perry. I 100% thought that was a Pink joint. Doesn't that sound like a Pink song? Or Kesha? I could definitely see that being a 2010 Kesha joint as well. Not Katy Perry's best song. I'm not the biggest Katy Perry stan out there, but you know, Firework, Roar, Teenage Dream, California Girls, like those are the top Katy Perry songs. Last Friday Night, it's just, you know, it's okay. I was very anti-pop when Katy Perry was at the top of her game. I just listened to Problem by Iggy Azalea. There is, in fact, an uncredited male rapper. Let's go! Last Friday night, I was singing Iggy songs. I was hitting lots of bongs. I was righting lots of wrongs. Okay, maybe it is one of her best songs. This song's about behaving badly. It's from a genre of music I'm very familiar with. Women behaving badly. Girls Gone Wild, if you will. You won't? Okay, then never mind. I regret that I said it in the first place. Where the hell? I always forget if it's a right or a left here. It's a left. Hey, little freaking Porsche. Hey, why don't you learn how to drive? It's not whoever pays the most money gets I pay my taxes too. And then you got to take a U-ey here. And then that lets you enter right here. Talk about Canadian Tire. There's a genre of Canadian tweet that I really get annoyed by. One of them that I saw, this is like 6 months ago, was like literally try to explain the concept of London drugs to someone from outside of British Columbia. They'll lose their mind. I'm from outside of British Columbia. I now live in British Columbia. Can I tell you what London Drugs is? It's a store that has a pharmacy inside of it. That's it. You can get your prescriptions filled. You could also buy a TV or like greeting cards, or so. It's not like they have them in the U.S. They have CVS, and I'm trying to. I mean, it's the same as any grocery store, except it sells like less groceries, basically. Then there was another one. This one went semi-viral like last week, and it was like try to explain to an American what Canadian Tire is, and they'll lose their mind. It's literally, it's just like if Home Depot fucked a Walmart. What do you mean they won't understand? It's not quantum physics. It's just, it's a store that sells multiple kinds of products. Canadian Tire money is a little strange, but it's just, I mean, they don't really use Canadian Tire money anymore, I think. It's just that it's all on like the Triangle Rewards app or whatever. I don't know why there's so many Canadians who are like, it's impossible to understand what our country is like. It's literally like, it's almost exactly the same as America, just some stores are like slightly different. That's it. Like, we're not a weird country. We're not Sweden. Come on. Somebody had to take the bullet there. Hang on, IKEA, you're right. Yeah, it's so true. Americans would never understand Tim Hortons. It's like, it's kind of like what you call Dunkin' Donuts, but then also, occasionally people die in the restaurant and nobody notices until 12 hours later because people go to the Tim Hortons and just like live there. No, that sounds like Dunkin'. Context, please, for the lore masters. A man died in a Vancouver Tim Hortons, but it took like 12 hours for anybody to notice because in Tim Hortons, you oftentimes see people. Like, let me put it this way. If you called 911 for every person inside of Tim Hortons that looked dead, nobody else in the city would be able to use 911. Tim Hortons sucks. I hate it. I would go a step further. Like, listen, I'm sure in America, like, people look down on chain restaurants a little bit. And there are some ones that are not so good. But, like, almost every national Canadian chain restaurant is bad. Tim Hortons is fucked. Swiss Chalet is fucked. Montana's, Kelsey's, like, they're all Boston Pizza. Just gonna sneak right by you. I got nothing against Saint-Hubert. I got nothing against La Belle Provence. Almost every other Canadian chain, though. Mary Brown's, okay, Mary Brown's is in contention for the best smelling restaurant in history. I don't know, I haven't eaten inside of a Mary Brown's, because I'm not from Newfoundland, in like close to 20 years probably. But the restaurant smells crazy. In a good way. Not like in a smells crazy in there sort of way. Canadian A&W is good too, but I'm saying like those are the exception rather than like the rule, I think. When I think of like driving through like a mid-sized Canadian city, I'm like Milestones, Moxie's, Montana's, Kelsey's. Like it just is you know, a rogues gallery of like 400 table restaurants where the menu is like longer than an encyclopedia. Like, I'm just gonna say it. It's like a lot of the Canadian restaurants are basically like, hey, we're like if the Cheesecake Factory food was not good. And I got no love necessarily for the Cheesecake Factory. There are then the upscale Canadian chains, yes, Earl's, Cactus, White Spot. I've never eaten in a White Spot proper, but I've eaten in Triple O's, which is like their diner. I think White Spot is pretty good. I guess I've gotten DoorDash from White Spot like a few years ago. White Spots is okay. It's the sit-down places. I mean, maybe that's true in the U.S. though too. But I'm railing against my own countrymen right now. We do have Montana's in BC. It's where Kate's mom always wanted to go for, well, she's still alive, but we haven't been to Montana's in a while. It's where Kate's mom always wants to go for her birthday. And she, even though she's in her 60s, she does like the classic Montana's birthday thing where they put like the hat with the moose antlers on her. And then they like all come around and clap and go like, you know, Montana's is like it's a Canadian barbecue themed restaurant. It's basically an American themed restaurant, I guess is the best way to describe it. You know, why not solve the problem now? And then we'll put this like here, and then we can grow into it a little bit. I know that this also looks crazy, but like it's at least a little bit it's minimalist. By the way, I'm getting ripped, dude. my take on minimalist interior design, first off, your ass is not invited to live with me anyway, so don't worry. I'm not going to force my minimalist design patterns on you. But secondly, everyone's like, oh, he doesn't own an ottoman. He doesn't want to own an armoire. He doesn't want to own this. He doesn't want... Do you recognize that one of the most valuable assets you can have in a place is space? Like, space is always functional. Furniture is situationally functional. You need some furniture. You need a chair to sit on at your computer. You need like a sofa to sit on. If you're watching TV, your TV needs to sit on something. You need a table to put things on, like your drinks, your magazines, etc., etc. But space is always... It has a floor for functionality, and it has a ceiling for functionality. I love having a bunch of space around. I'm never like, oh, I wish I had a bunch of shit I don't need. I'm always like, oh, I wish my fucking house was bigger. One of the easiest ways to make your house bigger is to throw some shit out that you don't actually use. Or like, never buy it. Don't buy it in the first place. I cleaned out my my t-shirt drawer in my dresser. I took out, I haven't donated them yet, but I got all the t-shirts in like a reusable canvas bag. I'm donating 35 t-shirts. I was merciless. Why do you have more than 35 t-shirts? People keep fucking sending them to me. You think reading chat all day makes you dumber? I mean, I want to say no, but then I think like chat's gotten dumber over the years and they read chat all day. So it's kind of hard for me to take that position, to be honest with you. Your chat got younger then? No, I don't think so. I feel like demo has shifted older over time as I've also gotten older, which is good. I also feel like old people, you know, when you're in like the mid-20s, especially I think as a self-serious man, you take yourself way too seriously. You're like, I'm an adult now, I'm an intellectual. Hey, did anybody watch the recent video essay on the James Webb Telescope? Then when you hit like 30, you just get silly again. You go, oh, hey, pee-poo, poopy, 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 poopy. People go, act your age, not your shoe size. Guess what? I'm 34. They're the same thing, idiot. I also think having a kid makes you sillier in a way. Maybe not even in a way, just like genuinely. Because you gotta be silly when you have like a 2-year-old. You gotta meet them on their level. Like every game is an away game. That's true. You are always doing something and then asking, is daddy silly? Does talking to a baby for years affect your mental capabilities? Yeah, you're not gonna like this, but it makes you like a lot stronger. Other parents won't admit this because they want you to like them. I don't care. But when you have, and I'm sure, let me just start this by saying, I'm sure if you have 2 kids, you say this about people with 1 kid. I'm sure if you have 5 kids, you say this about people with 2 kids. But when you have like 1 kid and then you're a friend of yours without kids, you see what they complain about. You go, what the hell are they talking about? You got 6 hours of free time every night. Yeah, you don't get enough sleep, but it's literally like a self-inflicted wound. Like you could have gone to bed whenever you wanted, but you were just like, oh, I want to watch this TV show for way too long. And then the next day you're like, I'm tired. Like it's your own, you did it to yourself, brother, and then you want some sympathy from me? It makes you stronger talking to a baby. You know, you mentally, if you can talk about, like, because when you have a conversation with like a toddler, it's about nothing. It's nonstop improv. It's like a 6-hour-long mouth lib. Now, like yesterday, I had a meeting at the bank. Okay, the meeting was at 3:30. I showed up at 3:20. I was sitting there till 3:45. Some guy who was not even the guy I had my appointment with was talking. He came over to me and he said, I'm so sorry. In my head, I was like, don't be, brother. This is like the most meditation I've had in forever. You're right, I could use some more donuts. Take as long as you want, man. I'm just sitting here on a comfortable chair looking at my phone with like I'm plausibly like running an errand right now, but I'm not actually doing anything. Like that's amazing. Like even now, I know that you're not going to like this bit. people are like, oh, is it, you're so self-aggrandizing. Oh, like, look at this guy's ego. Look at, you're complaining about what somebody's saying on twitch.tv right now. You're just making my point for me, you fool. Call me when your ass is using wet wipes that are like this big to clean up a big diarrhea shit on the floor for the 3rd time in one day. So it makes you stronger. Yeah, that was the question. The question was not who has it harder. The question is, does it affect your mental? Yeah. Drives you a little crazy, but over a long enough time span, I think you get some hypertrophy. I did that for my cat, and it made me a better person. We get it. You have a cat. Sorry, I just like to do that now. Chat, do you let people cut in front of you at the grocery store if you have a full cart and they only have 1 or 2 items? Never? You guys are sick. Oh, yes? Okay, well, I'm sorry. I forgot there's still like 1 to 2 seconds of delay. If they ask, that's crazy. In my opinion, I would never ask. I would never say, can I cut in front of you? That's like so presumptuous. I would offer, though. I would say, hey, you go in front of me. And then, like, here's the way it goes down here. I'm sure this is how it goes down in the U.S., too. But here, I'll say, hey, you can go in front of me. And they say, are you sure? But, like, they know that I'm sure. And I know that I'm sure. And then I have to explain myself. I have to go, yeah, I've got so many things. And you've only got a couple of items. Why don't you go first? And they go, oh, thank you. And then, like, they're on the hook. Because after they pay, they also have to look back and say thanks again. And then I go, no, don't worry about it, of course. If they have 1 item, they should use the self-checkout. What the hell? Oh, no, dude, they're stuck. They're stuck. And I think actually Twitch will agree with this, which is a bad thing because it means that it's probably like a pseudo-fascist take. But I think you should have to pass like an IQ test to use the self-checkout. Because so many times I'm like, oh, the self-checkout line is like only 2 people and the normal line is like 30 people. And catch my ass in the self-checkout line waiting for someone who's like FaceTiming while also trying to scan their items and get them onto the scale and then bag them up, but they didn't tear the scale like with their bag on it. And it's just like product they bought 25 times. They still can't find the barcode. Let me help you. It's on the back. And I know we've said this before, but this is not a take. Like, this is not deliberately like I'm trying to incite rage or comments. I genuinely think you should get like a 2% discount for using the self-checkout because you're doing some of the store's work for you. For them, I should say. It just makes sense to me that if I'm as a knock-on effect of the self-checkout, you are probably not hiring so many staff, and you're certainly not passing the savings on to me in the price of the goods. So you should pass on the savings to me in the form of like actual, cash off the top. At the dentist, they had me hold the suction machine in my own mouth. Well, listen, it's just, that seems reasonable. You know where you need the suction. If any, I'd rather hold the suction machine myself. Sometimes you're like, oh, I got so much spit like on my left mandible. And they're just constantly like holding it like right next to your uvula. You're like, I don't need it at my uvula. Can you get to my left mandible, please? Now, I mean, if I was doing my own colonoscopy, then I'd be a little cheesed off. Because like, honestly, I don't have the best view down there. I feel like they can see better with the camera. They know, which way. They know they have a co-driver. They know, oh, hey, get ready. We got a 35-degree chicane to the left coming up next. I think the express lane should stop scanning your shit after the 10th item. Well, like, here's the thing, and I think it's taken me a while to realize this as well. You shouldn't get in the express line if you got 15 items and it says 12 items or fewer or whatever. Okay, this is the grammatical debate is irrelevant to this. The problem is, much like that, because on r/Vancouver, there was a post a few months ago that was like, please stop letting people cut into traffic when they speed down the bus lane to avoid traffic. I always see people letting them back in so that that person can merge onto the Lionsgate Bridge. If there's no punishment for this behavior, then they're never going to stop. Maybe there's some truth to that, okay? But at the same time, my ass is literally just trying to get to like the grocery store without dying. It's not like I wish that people followed the rules too, but yeah, it's like it's not your quarrel. Like let them be an asshole and then you know, just live your own life. It's the same thing with the express lane. I would never call out someone in the express lane because I think if I called out someone in the express lane, it's gonna like fuck everybody up. Like it's gonna make it, you know, we're gonna get into a discussion, and then that's gonna delay everybody, and all for what? So that I don't feel like they got one over by me because they went through like a slightly shorter line. Like that's a problem with me on a mental level. You know, yeah, you don't need to be a vigilante about it. Like, just, you know, give people a little bit of tolerance, you know? I feel like this comes up in Am I the Asshole so much. It's like, they always want everybody treated exactly fairly, which sounds like a great thing. They take it to a logical extreme, which is if someone gets special treatment, that person, no matter how small the special treatment is, that then needs to be distributed equally, otherwise society falls apart. Well, if we're going to let this person consistently go through the express lane with 13 items or less, then can we please change the signage so that it says 13 items or less, or even better, 13 items or fewer to make it grammatically correct? And because there's been times where I've individually counted every single item in my cart and been like, oh no, one too many things. I'm going to go put back my feta cheese so that I can take advantage of the express aisle. And like, it's literally this, like by typing out the post, we've now spent more effort than it took to go beep one extra time and then tell them the... Part of treating people fairly is not just like, oh, you get 3 jelly beans, you get 3 jelly beans, you get 3 jelly beans. It's like, you took 4 jelly beans today? Okay, I'm going to trust that as an adult, you felt like today was a 4 jelly bean day, and I'm going to give you the same tolerance that I would want other people to give to myself if I had to do that. So you got it. Part of the fairness is cutting people the same slack that your internal monologue cuts yourself. But I understand that a lot of Twitch chat is in their 20s and will not agree with that. Waking up at midnight to check Bizman. 19-year-olds waking up at 6:30 a.m. West Coast time to see how their DraftKings stock is doing on the open in 2020. Oh, it's up? I'm a genius. I quit school, Mom. Gambling needs to be illegal. Sports betting has gotten out of hand. Well, I don't know if it needs to be illegal, but I linked Dan to this TikTok yesterday. Did you hear this? I don't know if you follow TikTok investors like me. Please don't have
What's
music.
up, everybody? So it's Neek Betts here, and I'm a senior in high school, but I'm not going to college. I just don't think college is the right fit for me, and sports betting is where it's at. Last year, I'm not going to lie, I lost $4,000 sports gambling. Ever since I did this one strategy, I'm up over like 100 units in 1 year. It's crazy to think about because all I do is just sit on my couch and watch sports. Here is a play from the other day. Kevin Durant, 6 assists, and Devin Booker, 4 made threes, 135 to pay out 3,000. It's honestly not that hard. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Sorry. I must have watched that at least 5 times. It's not that hard. If anyone can do it, you can do it. I lost $3,000 sports betting last year, but this year I'm up 100 units. I don't even know what it even means. But for those of you who are just listening on audio, you're basically the same as the video watchers because I didn't put the video up on the screen. But the dude, he was like, here's my strategy, and he just posted a screenshot of him hitting one parlay. It was like Kevin Durant hit the over on his points, and then Devin Booker hit 4 free throws, and he's like, I turned $135 into 3,000. And then he said, it's honestly not that hard. Anyone could do it. What do you mean anybody could do it? It's just, of course, when the players do the thing that you bet on them to do, then you win. Of course, it's not hard. I'm up 100 units. Wait, where am I? I'm punching down. I'm punching down. Okay. Hey, Houlihan 813. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I did see, like, the only way I see TikToks now is on Twitter. I did see the TikTok of the guy in the so-called luxury apartment where he's like giving a tour and the floor is covered in water, and he's like, yeah, the water pools a little bit sometimes, but it's luxury water. Oh yeah, like one of the luxuries is that we have like 3 elevators. 2 of them are broken, and he gets in the other one and like the floor doesn't, it has like boards that don't match with the rest of the floor. And then he's like, oh yeah, also there's a bat in the elevator. I love having a bat in my luxury apartment. And then the next shot is like the bat in the back rooms just fucking zooming down the hallway. It's so good. The bat was like, it was going so fast. Oh, man. Whoo, that was a great one. Right? I also revisited the TikTok, and you know, it's a different era now than it was in 2021. I've revisited the TikTok that's like, I mean, I have to pause for a second, but it's like the husband and the wife introduces it and goes like, so my husband is going to show you the strategy that he uses, and it pays for literally all of our bills. And then he goes, yeah, so what I do is I day trade. I see a stock, I look at the graph, and the graph is like here, and then I just watch it, and then I sell it right there. And yeah, basically that's all there is to it. Hang on, let's see if there's some, let's see if there's licensed music in it. No, this is not technical analysis. This was literally, he just watches. I mean, I know technical analysis is just watching the line, but this is literally just like, when the line goes up, I sell. He wasn't even putting any sorcery on it. He wasn't like, oh, it's a cup and handle pattern. Oh, it's a descending wedge.
Make money from home. For starters, this is not a sponsored video. We just get this question all the time, and honestly, the answer is really simple.
So basically, I just trade stocks on an app called Robinhood, which I left a link in our bio if you want to check it out. It's free to download, free to sign up. They actually give you a free stock, so they're paying you to sign up. But again, not sponsored. And I know trading sounds intimidating. Here's my strategy in a nutshell. I see a stock going up and I buy it, and I just watch it until it stops going up, and then I sell it, and I do that over and over, and it pays for our whole lifestyle. If you're wondering how much you can make doing this, in this month I turned about 400 into 14,000. And in this month, I turned less than 1,000 into 20,000.
And honestly, my favorite part about this isn't even the amount of money you can make, but just...
My favorite part about it isn't that you could, like, 20x your money without even knowing what you're doing. That's not my favorite part in a month.
It's the fact that we don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job.
It's the fact that we don't have to go to, like, a real job. It's not the fact that you can take $1 and turn it into $20 in 30
we can
days.
Focus on things that we actually enjoy doing. So if you have friends that like want to make money from home, you can tag them or send them a link. Or if you make money this way, share it in the comments so other people know like there's more people doing this now.
It's just that easy, guys. Again, there was no video played there. Maybe the librarian will edit it in. But the gist of it is like I look at a stock, and when I see it's going up, I buy it, and then it goes shh, and then I just sell it. And basically that's all there is to it. It's so funny. You guys are missing the point. People are saying like just have disposable income, just don't be poor. It doesn't work. That's the problem is that like it's like the dude is basically like the secret to swimming. I didn't take lessons or anything. I just jump in the pool and I float, and that's basically it. It has nothing to do with him starting with like a small loan of $1 million. It's like I need to say this not to like turn this into an investing conversation, but so that people aren't like, oh, if I get a little seed money, all I need to do is watch the graph. I don't want you to be laboring under that false suggestion. The dude he doesn't know what he's talking about. I want to see some posts that they've made from 2022 onwards. That's a much better example. So the secret to poker, basically what I do is I just get pocket aces, and then I bet, and then when the flop comes up and there's 2 more aces, I go all in, and then that's basically it. So can you tag other people who are interested in making money from home? Because a lot of people are doing this these days. If you had to give up chicken, beef, pork, or fish, which one would it be? World's sanest meat eater. I don't mean to draw like a false dilemma here. Giving up any one of them would not really be a big deal. I mean, to be honest with you, probably the one these days I eat the least of is beef, just because this shit is like expensive. It tastes good, but I'm not, as you know, I'm not like an enormous burger guy. I like a steak, but I don't buy them for myself unless like it's a special occasion, because this shit is like way too pricey these days. Could you give up all of them? I could, but like it's not a great time to become a vegetarian for me. Namely because my wife does most of the cooking, and most of the meals that she cooks have meat in them, and she's not interested in becoming a vegetarian. So it's, right now is just like too inconvenient. If you want to make a big life change, making it as convenient as possible is kind of a life hack. Also, with a toddler, like, again, I'm not looking to add more complexity to to my life, but otherwise, I mean, I was a vegetarian for, I don't know, like 6 months or something like that before I moved to Korea. And when I was doing job interviews, they were like, do you have any questions for us? And every single one, I was like, well, I'm a vegetarian. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, no problem. You can eat lots of fish. And I'm like, who's going to tell them? So I figured, because I was a vegetarian, I was dabbling in vegetarianism. I figured it made sense to just like, hey, let's not like compromise this cultural experience that I'll have overseas just to prove a point. And then I just started eating meat again. But I'm definitely not one of those guys who's like, I need to eat meat every day. Like I'm not a vegetarian, but like I would say I usually eat meat like once a day right now. Like yesterday I had some cereal for breakfast with some oat milk. This just spawned the whole anecdote today. And then I had like a vegetarian salad for lunch. And then I should probably buy some coffee, I suppose, huh? Then I had like gamjatang, which is like a pork soup for dinner. So I had pork for dinner, but then, you know. Also, I was going to say, talking about nutrition on Twitch is always like a recipe for disaster. Mainly because I'm not a nutritionist, but even if I was, I don't think that would really help. But like, I just feel better the less meat I eat. I always remember like when I was a vegetarian before I went to Korea, I lost like 15, 20 pounds in 6 months, and I was eating like a damn horse. I was eating 3 square meals a day and then like maybe a 4th meal right before bed. Really the only difference was, instead of eating meals that come with meat, I was eating meals that had no meat. They hate me? They hate me? That's because you were 20? Well, how did my ass get fat in the first place, dummy? I wasn't eating cake. I was eating a lot of, like vegetarian soups and stuff like that. But I don't know, I was 20 when I got fat as well. It's not just like the lack of meat. Like, it's definitely also that, especially this was like 2010 or something like that. It limited you in such a way that you didn't notice that you had better habits. Like, you're not gonna go through the McDonald's drive-thru and be like, can I just have a medium fry, please? By the way, some of you people are crazy. We went through the McDonald's drive-thru on Sunday, okay? On the way back from Costco. This is how fucked the Costco food court was. We were at Costco. We said, I'm not going into that food court. Are you crazy? It looks like it's pandemonium in there. So we went through the McDonald's drive-thru. The screens at the drive-thru were somehow inverted. So normally when you order, you see your food pop up on the screen. This time, we ordered, we saw the person in front of us. Their food popped up on the screen. I was under the impression that people go to McDonald's and they say, I'll have a number 6 meal with a medium Coke Zero, whatever. I saw 2 people's orders go by. The first one I don't even remember, but it was like, it looked like my taxes. It was like an itemized list of 18 things, none of which were meals. They were like, they ordered, it was like it was Midwestern dim sum. They were, I'll take one of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. The guy, I could hear with my window open, the other window when they were ordering, and then I watched it pop up on the screen. It was like 1 medium fry. And I was like, who the hell's going through the McDonald's drive-thru for 1 medium fry? And then it was like medium Coke. Then it was 1 junior McChicken. Then it was like 4 ketchup packs. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy on? Then it was 2 apple pies. Then it was like 1 sweet and sour sauce, 1 barbecue sauce, 1 McDouble. Like it just kept coming. It was like that they were like spinning a wheel to figure out what they were going to order next. It's crazy, man. It came to like $21. You know, they just sell combos. You could just be like, give me a sandwich, fries, and a drink. I mean, it's your order. I'm just saying, like, I didn't know people lived like that. They could be ordering for multiple people, in which case they're a better person than me. Because if I was in a room with like 3 of my friends, and then one person was like, hey, can I get a junior McChicken, a McDouble, a medium Coke, and 4 ketchup packs? I'd be like, no. Here's the 10 value meals. You pick one. So my ass is not going, like, I don't want to go with a stenographer to have to make sure I get this order right. Same thing, like I would never do like a group order at Subway. Because as soon as somebody goes like, oh, can you toast the bread before you put the meat on, and then I'll get a half white cheese, half orange cheese? I'd be like, no, your ass doesn't get a sandwich. I'm sorry. Can you make sure they put 2 lines of mayonnaise on? No, I'm getting 6 sandwiches. You don't get to have exactly what you want. You get to have, it's going to be in your zone somewhere, and then there's going to be a little variance, and we're going to have to live with that, okay? You can order whatever you want by yourself. I may make fun of it a little bit, but I make fun of myself all the time as well. Please turn the music off. Who turned on my car stereo while I was gone? But if this is like a group order, I'm sorry to tell you that you don't get to make. You can make like 1 default substitution. Like I don't like everything on my Subway sandwich. Mostly because I just feel like lettuce plus spinach just fucks up the leaf to everything else ratio. And honestly, this is personal. I guess everything's personal preference. But I don't like the pickled jalapenos on my sandwich because I just feel like the spiciness and the vinegar flavor, it just dominates everything else. I like them in some things, but I don't really like them in a Subway sandwich. Now, that being said, if a friend of mine was like, hey, I'm going to do a group order from Subway, I got 5 other guys here who are getting the sandwich, like, what do you want? I would be like, okay, give me like a foot-long turkey. And then he would presumably say, everything on it? And I'd say, you know what? Sure. I'll live with that. It might not be my ideal sandwich, but it's still a sandwich. I'm not gonna cry. Now, if I was allergic to something, I would be like, oh, no peanuts, please. But, by the way, I'm in like a huge Pokemon Go bear market. I don't think I have caught a non-community day shiny in Pokemon Go since like January. Also, I'm embarrassed to say, I never thought it would happen. My ass is, I'm like true free-to-play Pokemon Go now. I am out of potions. I've got a ton of revives, but like I can't fight the Team Rocket Pokestops anymore because I have like a 1 regular ass potion. You put that shit on a Gyarados, the meter doesn't even move. So I don't know what I'm spinning as much as I think I had like hundreds of potions, and then I just was mindlessly fighting the Team Rocket grunts without worrying about like type advantages and everything. or anything, I should say, and it just came back to bite me in the ass. Like, my burn rate got too high. I'd catch my ass investing all my potions with Silicon Valley Bank. That's also true. Nobody fucking sends me gifts anymore, man. Even my wife doesn't send me gifts. I get one gift a week from, like, either my niece or my brother-in-law. Nobody else. This game has got, like, a huge attrition rate. Nobody plays this anymore. I don't want to give my Pokemon Go code, though, because I want to send people gifts as well to clean out my inventory, but it would just, like, completely dox my walking route, like, almost every single day. So, like, gotta be careful. I have to, like, drive out of town, spin 8 stops, drive back into town, and then go on my walk. I don't know if Pokemon Go will still be big in 20 years, but, like, it's just a way to pass the time when you're walking around. Like, what else would I be doing? I would just be, I don't know. You can't really play Pokemon, or you can't really play, like, Super Auto Pets and walk around. Listen to podcasts? I'm listening to podcasts while I play Pokemon Go. What's the baby doing? They're in the damn stroller. That's why I need Web3 gaming to take off. Because then at least, like, my walks could turn into, like, a productive time, you know? Like, instead of just catching Pokemon, what? Just to look at? Just to fight other people's Pokemon? I could earn, like, you know, like a cool crystal sword or something like that. And, like, every kilometer that I walk, it spits off, like, 4 crystal shards, which are worth, like, a picocent each on the market. And then, I mean, like, before you know it, I don't know. Then you, like, I think you do, like, fractional lending of your items to other people, and every kilometer they walk, you get, I don't really fully understand it, but it all sounds great and, like, is on the up and up, mostly. I can't sleep in here. It's basically free money. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. And you don't have to have a regular job. What I basically do is I watch the chart and I start going for walks here, and then when the price goes up, I go home. And that basically pays for... The thing that annoys me the most about the video is not, like, how obviously insane the strategy is. It's the fact that, like, half of the TikTok explains what money is used for. They're like, we use it to pay our bills, our lifestyle. And I'm like, yes, I'm familiar with the concept of currency. Can we go back to the part where you just look at the graph and you sell it, you buy low, sell high? Like, by the way, speaking of buy low, sell high, it's the most boring market of all time. I should have invested in European energy, man. Shit has been flat for 11 days in a row. It's supposed to be at the same point here that it is here, but in the meantime, it's supposed to go, the bull run is back on. Every bank on earth is going to collapse. The Fed will bail you out no matter what. Oh, if you live in Switzerland, there's a huge liquidity crisis on Class A bonds. The bull market's back on. The Fed raised 25 points. The Fed raised 25 points. And then you just go right back to where you started, okay? Like, what? It's not supposed to just be level the whole time. The stock market's a damn scam, man. You heard it here first. I mean, the graph looks bad, but, like, I'm down 0.002%. Excuse me, the ring, TikTok investor. I bought it when the line was going up, but then, like, the day after that, the line went down, and it's just staying down. So I can't do the second part of your strategy where I sell when it goes up. Do you have any advice? The number you're trying to reach has been disconnected for failure to pay the bill. Their account is in arrears. Beeper, 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 beeper. Snoopies. I don't want this to be a Subway, okay? I don't want this to be a situation where the same person is cutting the vegetables, making the sandwich, putting the sandwich in the toaster, taking it out, asking me what I want on my sandwich, almost putting on jalapenos just because I also got olives, but I don't want every single vinegar topping. I just want the olives. And then doing the cash register as well. We need multiple Staff, it's Henry Ford, okay? Speaking of Henry Ford, did you see that K-pop star who wore the QAnon shirt? Did you hear about this one, Kevin? Did you hear about the K-pop star Chaeyoung is catching heat on social media right now? I don't have a punchline for the joke, but anyway. Sorry, I don't pay attention to the media. I'm like, this is K-pop's Kanye moment, is it? Are they going through the reckoning of like one of the greatest artists of their time, making some very poor decisions and then having to reconcile separating art from the artist? Otherwise, my ass is still listening to Moonlight, Sunlight, I don't know the words, but I hear the song in Hanam now and then, and as moonlight. You know what I'm talking about? Me when NL knows one K-pop song? Is he ARMY? Oh, it's me. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking me whether or not I'm ARMY, and I haven't had an answer for them. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm ARMY. You look like a Coldplay enjoyer. Huge insult, because I am not a Coldplay enjoyer. Sorry. So I'm not laughing at this, but yes, Lance Reddick died, which is horrendous and shocking news. Especially because he was pretty young. He was 60 years old, and he was in amazing shape, which makes you feel like, you know, if it could happen to Lance, it could happen to anybody. But then, like, the Eric Andre clip just appeared in my head where he smashes his desk and then says, "You got to get a new desk." And then he comes out and goes, "I wish I was LeVar Burton. I wish I was LeVar Burton." It's so good.
Where's my iconic slave role?
So I saw it on Twitter, and someone in the replies said, "I thought this was from like an actual movie until I saw Eric Andre." And I'm like, really? When he came out with like his hands in chains with the Geordie LaForge visor on and no shirt and said, "I wish I was LeVar Burton," you thought that was like you thought that was from a real movie? Most media literate internet user. This is I'm opening a this is a donut shop. I'm opening a donut shop in Big Ambitions. It's kind of like King of Retail, but more open world, I would suppose. I suppose you could say. Hello, Tomo.
Hello, Father. Hello, Father.
This guy, I'm putting him on notice. Every morning, before I get on the Peloton, he just meows like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, shut the up. You're gonna wake up my baby. If you wake up my baby, you're not gonna like the results, Tomo.
You're not gonna like the results. Father. Father, what you playing? Father. Father.
Hi, Tomo. Hi, Tomo. Yeah, Tomo's really relaxed. Whoa, I should be working. Hang on, though. I gotta eat something real quick.
You know, yesterday, you know how we have Christian Berenstein Bears?
Right, yeah. We do have some religious Berenstein Bears books.
And then our daughter wanted the Sunday school. And then I read her like, oh, it's so great to go to church every morning, and the kids go to their Sunday schools and study Bibles, and during the Bible class it was Noah's Ark and how Noah saved everyone and all the animals.
As a child, I didn't know that the Berenstein Bears were like it's not fair, I think, to call it propaganda, because like it's not, like there are Berenstein Bears books that are just like, we love the library, but then there are some Berenstein Bears books that are like, we go to church every Sunday and like everything we do is by the grace of the Lord. Some of them are like a little religious. They have some religiosity to them. Yeah, kind of like Veggie Tales. Like there's some stories that stand on their own, and then there's like a little bit of some. Let me put it this way: there's one about dinosaur bones, and I know you're gonna be like Monka S. At no point did they say these dinosaur bones were placed here to trick us. They just go, dinosaurs lived here millions of years ago, and we like dig them up, and look, this is a Spinosaur. Like I'm okay with my daughter reading the Berenstein Bears books. Ava, you're gonna have a default uniform as well, and you know what? It's only fair if one person's wearing a uniform. Guess what? Everybody's got to wear a uniform. Please don't put.
You have hair.
I have very sensitive skin. Please don't put the cat's tail, which is right next to his anus, on my forehead. It should go without saying, I think. But is that gamjatang heated up yet, or is it still?
Heated up.
I don't know. I think it's probably ready to go. I feel bad for the cat at this point.
What? He loves it. Tomo. Father.
We could get a stereo here. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. We're making great money. Hang on. Market's in the damn toilet. 0.00001% down. It's not what I think of when I see 1 to 3% risk, but let me at some point that's going to start paying dividends. Okay, Ava Moss, you're good to go. Thrifty's Gifties shipment arrived. Everyone's chilling. We're doing great. 33,000 in the bank. Guess what? Starting today, I'm not working anymore. $108 a day coming in from Snoopy's. That's horrendous. I don't know what to do about that.
Say something funny.
Get out of my office. Come here, you put the cat on my forehead. This dirty fur all over my skin real estate here. Demand say something funny.
Look at Tomo's face. How dare you? How dare you, father?
Oh, there he goes. It happened off camera, but there he goes. You just sometimes her stream starts. I'm like, are you ready to stream? It's 5 minutes after the normal start time. She's like, I just need a couple of minutes. Then I give her 5 extra minutes. Her stream starts. I walk out into the kitchen and I see that her lunch is still cooking on the stove, and I just hear like a shout from upstairs that's like, "Can you finish cooking my lunch and then bring it up to me?" When I do it with a smile on my face, plate it nicely, bring it up to her, put one hand into her office to deposit it on her desk. She says thank you, but she gives me a look that's like, don't get any ideas about staying in the office because this is my time. Just drop off the food and get out. We got a double standard here. Sorry, I was eating some Golden Island Korean barbecue pork jerky, which is now ruined for me because I was on r/Costco. Someone posted a photo of the jerky and said, try this if you have it at your store. It's the best jerky I've ever had. One of the top replies, I really like this jerky until one time I opened the bag and it was all covered in mold and I've never bought it since. Okay, I will never buy it again ever. Jack Links would never because the company is it's too fragile. Nitrates stop that? Yeah, but isn't that the stuff that kills you if you eat them? Yeah, but so does mold. Yeah, I could just it's not like you have to eat a jerky. You could just not eat some jerky. I'm going to do some Sporcle, man. It's been a while. You have my word. I will not do Sporcle quizzes that are just celebrities, okay? We'll do Sporcle quizzes that are relatable. Because literally the first quiz I was going to do was, can you name this Food Network chef? I guess those are celebrities too. Americans to the hospital. It's dangerous, and it's in your own home. Can you name the household items or activities that sent over 50,000 Americans to hospital in 2010? Okay, so we're choosing whether they did or did not send 50,000 people to the hospital or more. It's a 10-minute quiz. It has 90 questions. Good luck. Children's nursery equipment. I honestly think that, yes, it probably sent 50,000 people. Yes. Toys, I think it sent even more. Sports and recreation, I would be stunned if this didn't send more people. Amusement park attractions, there's no way 50,000 people went to the hospital over amusement park attractions. 36,000 is still so high. Barbecue grills and stoves, I'm going to say slightly higher. Oh, lower than amusement park? Baseball or softball? No way there's 50,000 related baseball injuries a year. 282. I want to see the source, man. Basketball, even less injury prone. Oh, what? Playground equipment, definitely dangerous. It's stunning to me. Listen, we're going through a little banter hole here. As a kid, I remember being on the playground. You're ripping up the jungle gym. You're jumping off things and doing like tack rolls and stuff like that. As a parent, watching my kid be up on the jungle gym is fucking nerve-wracking, man. It's driving me crazy. Like last summer, when we were going to the park all the time, my kid was 1.5. So if she would go up on the jungle gym, I would like go up with her. Now, I have to learn not to be a helicopter parent. So I let her go up by herself and then I just sort of watch her. But as a parent, you realize like how fragile this system is. Like they have railings on the side of the jungle gym. You know, they're like 10 feet up in the air, maybe 8 feet up in the air on some kind of climbing structure. They got like the wheel that you turn. They got maybe like some squeaky toys you push on. And then they got little slides and like poles you can slide down and stuff like that. Parts of it have railings and you're like, oh, I can breathe a second. Then your kid like barrels towards the edge of a platform that has like a pole that you can slide down. And you're like, my kid is 2. There's no shot that she's going to know that that's an edge. And like, there's no shot she's grabbing the pole and then sliding down. So you're just like running around like the circumference of the jungle gym, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you're hoping that none of the other kids are like sociopaths. Because sometimes, you know, your toddler's taking a little too or a little too long to like climb down a staircase or something. And other kids that are like 6 or 7 are just like, buh, 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 buh. Like a kid could easily just walk up like behind my daughter and be like, boo, enjoy Mars, you know? Just push her off the edge. You're relying on society to not do it. It's scary, man. When it's me, I'm like, sure, somebody could just push me into traffic. That's why, like, when I'm waiting at a crosswalk, I fucking like get a little low and I clench a little bit. Someone came behind me and pushed me, they would find that I'm not going to move as much as they thought I would because I braced myself just in case the push was coming. Put one foot slightly in front of the other. I'm ready, okay? I'm not saying I wouldn't budge, but I'm not going headfirst in front of a TransLink bus. But like my kid doesn't know that yet. She doesn't know to be like innately distrustful. And also at any point, sometimes she just like falls down over stuff on the ground. Like she could just like wash. She could just not be watching and then like step off the edge and like fall off the jungle gym. But anyway, you got it. That's the curse of being a parent. Anyway. TV sets and stands, safe. Clothing, safe? What? How? Choked out by your own t-shirt? It really do be your own? You go, oh, the beans above the frank. Of course, I forgot. Grooming devices. Honestly, I could see people having accidents with like hair dryers or curling irons. I'm going to say dangerous. Protection devices? Like a taser? It's got to be higher. Razors, shavers, razor blades, higher. Cans? Lower? I'm stupid. Who's going to... Are you cutting yourself so bad on a can that you have to go to the hospital? Maybe they can't have public health care in America. Maybe they haven't earned it. Sorry. I don't know if the Canadian stats look different, but like, 288,000 people went to the hospital because they cut themselves on a damn can? It's sharp? I know it's sharp. That's why I don't touch it. Glass bottles it's got to be higher. I'm getting skunked, man. Chainsaws. I feel like not that many people use them, so I'm going to say safe. Batteries, lots of kids be swallowing these. These are dangerous. Never mind. Power home tools, dangerous. Power saws, dangerous. Welding, soldering, and cutting tools, safe. Workshop manual tools. You got to be pretty fucking stupid to, like, send yourself to the hospital using a wrench. So I'm going to say safe. Air conditioners should be low. Chimneys, fireplaces, chimneys. Higher? Nope. Fans, lower. Safe. Heating and plumbing pipes, safe. Heating stoves, dangerous. Bathroom fixtures, safe. What is wrong with you? Beds, mattresses, and pillows, safe. Motherfucker got sent to the hospital because your bed hurt you? It's the softest thing in your house. Blankets, safe. Carpets and rugs. You could trip on one and fall over. That's dangerous. Chairs, sofas, and sofa beds. Safe. 590,000. You know what I'm picturing is like some Three Stooges shit where they're in the Murphy bed that like folds up into the wall, and they're like in the bed, and then the bed folds them up into the wall too. Did that really happen to 590,000 Americans in a single year? That's like 10,000 people per state. Old people stubbing their toes? You have to pay money for this. Why are you going to the hospital? You stub your toe, you move on. It's the same people who are like, what if you hit your thumb with a hammer? You go to an after hours clinic. They say, before we get started, what do you want to get out of this appointment? You tell them, I'm not looking for a hit of opiates. I'm actually just wondering if you could sever my thumbnail so that it can start growing back normally. He says, I don't do that. And by the way, thank you for your time. Our appointment is over. Stairs, dangerous. Windowsills, not dangerous. Dollies and carts, not that dangerous. Elevators, not that dangerous. Gasoline, very dangerous. Okay, that was hard. Stairs makes perfect sense to me. The one that sent me out into a tizzy is really bed. I don't understand how 714,000 people falling out of bed. You ever consider having your bed a little closer to the fucking floor? You're right. Old people do love tall ass beds. For the last 20 years, I've been sleeping on beds that basically is like the floor is here. You put a box spring that's like 6 inches tall. The mattress is set into that. And then the mattress comes up like another 6 inches. And you're right on the floor while you're sleeping, basically. I love sleeping close to the floor. I don't want to have to get a step ladder to climb into my bed. Like, what's the point? It's the pillows? Bro, who's getting hurt by the pillow? It's the softest thing in the world. No, I refuse to believe that more than 50,000 people out of this 700 is pillow fights. I could see kids jumping on the bed, falling off, and then like hurting themselves. But it's gotta be, I think Chad is right. I think it's just a lot of people falling out of bed. Listen, I know that there are intercourse-related injuries. I don't think it's a high percentage. I also feel like there's a bit of like a shy reporting phenomenon that people would be like, Doctor would be like, what happened? And you would be like, oh, I slammed my penis into the refrigerator door. You wouldn't be like, my girlfriend snapped it in half. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. I think I take issue with this quiz. Hang on, I'm trying to find some new ones. Yeah, 300 people on clothing also seems crazy to me. Penis snapping during sex is quite common. Is it quite common, or does everybody know like the same 100 stories? Because the number was 700,000 a year in the US alone. Like extrapolated to worldwide, every one of us should know like 2 dudes a year going to the ER for like a penis fixing. Like to put new hinges on the damn screen door. I just don't, the numbers don't pass a back of the napkin calculation for me. It happens to me once a week. Okay, well, the rest of us should still know like 1.8 guys or something. You should try the unusual words series. Okay. Okay, unusual words. This is not your fault. This is Sporcle's fault. Oh, is this it? Can you use your etymological knowledge to pick the correct definition and avoid the bluffs for each of the unusual or lesser known words? Honestly, I think you're too smart to be here. Look at this. Pre-ante penultimate, having an extremely ancient appearance, ordered first by size. What is this? This looks like the instructions to a 1970s board game. Okay. Correct definitions. Pre-ante penultimate. This seems to me to be fourth from last. Autolatry. This seems to be the worship of oneself. Tartarology. I feel like this is beliefs about hell in the underworld. Homunculi. These are unusual humans. Mendacious. To me, this seems to be intentionally untrue. I don't know. There's got to be something in the human brain that, like, the language processing center of the human brain is incredible. I don't think I've ever heard the word before, but I was like, here's what it sounds like it would mean. Licit. This is conforming to the requirements of the law. Resorious. I think it's a facial muscle. Numismatic. Pertaining to coins. Ooh, he's crazy, dude. That's not me, it's the brain. The brain is incredible. Like, some of those were not so hard, but like some of them were. Some of those I was out in no man's land. Okay, triskaidekaphobia. It's the fear of the number 13. Druthers. They believe it's a preference. Dolorous. I've had this before, but I don't remember. I'm going to say it's pain or grief. Okay, well, like, natal is surrounding a birth. I can't think of what nata could otherwise be. It doesn't sound like an emotion to me, though, so I'm going to say it's related to swimming. Boom slang. This jargon seems too obvious. I think it's a hunting weapon. Nope. It is a tree snake. Well, that's not a word, that's an animal. So shut up. Verdure. Tense anger or wrath. The greenness of growing vegetation. That's like verdant. To hold out something, to hold out against something without yielding. That's like endure. So I got to assume it's A. Okay, I'm falling apart. I'm overthinking it now. Gourmandize. I don't think it's eat greedily, because I feel like that would be gourmandize if it was anything. So I'm going to say that it's assimilated into a cult. Nope, it's to eat greedily from gourmand. I'm overthinking again. He's too dialed. Obnubilate. Obnubilate. Make something cloudy. To treat someone like an infant or to confiscate property as a form of punishment. To make cloudy. Okay, trust your gut. The Zeitgeber. Someone who gives a gift and takes it back. That sounds right to me. Nope. It is a cue that helps regulate an organism's biological clock. Okay, my brain is bad again. Let's just go with your brain, go with your first instinct. Because so much of language is fluid processing at runtime. A raconteur is a charlatan. Never mind. Haplography is a study of a family tree. Writing that should be written twice. Study of, I'm going to say it's writing that, writing once what should be written twice? Onerocritic. Interpreter of dreams. Okay. 4 out of 6, I'll take it. Hippomancy. Hippo. To foretell events through the actions of horses. Undulant. Having a wavy form or surface, something that undulates, or smug and self-satisfied. I'm going to say wavy form or surface. Fusco-ferruginous. To me, this seems like rusty color makes sense. Defenestrate is to throw out of a window. Gambrinus. Sternutation. Sternutation. Sternum, the act of having a fishy odor, the act of sneezing. That makes sense to me. Gambrinus. Covered in vines. We came back. We got back. It's someone who was full of beer. Okay. Little better. And then we got one more. These are interesting quizzes, though. They taught me a little bit about myself. Your philtrum. This is the groove between the upper lip and nose. Apricate. A small canopy for covering fruit in a market. To sunbathe, greedy or gluttonous. Certainly sounds like a verb to me, so I'm going to go sunbathe. Dewlap. How can something sound like a verb, man? What are you doing up here? What are you doing up here and I can't access it at will? I can only access it accidentally? When I'm not trying to? Don't get me started on Mrs. Vandertramp, man. Apterium. Floating wreckage. Oh, that's floatsome. I wasn't thinking of floatsome. I don't know what any of these words mean, you smug, you gambrinous quizmaker. The English language has multiple words that mean exactly the same thing. And also, don't even get me started. Tyler Glale on Twitter yesterday said, considering how many people make this mistake, why don't we make it so that there's only one it's? Why don't we just have ITS or IT apostrophe S and say that that's right no matter what? People were like, no, because there's already one that's like that. You know how many fucking words in the English language are either spelled the same and sound different or are spelled different and sound the same? You can double up. We set a precedent of doubling up 500 years ago. No, we can't just make the rules easier so that people could be more correct with what they're already saying. We can't adapt language to people. People have to adapt to the language because I pride myself and base my entire self-esteem on my 3rd grade English mark. Oh, what are we going to do if I can't correct public figures on their incorrect use of there, and there? Shut the fuck up. Verbigeration. certainly sounds like repetition of meaningless words. Funambulist. A never nude, someone from a rural area. To amble is to walk. That's a tightrope walker. Ogdode. I have to believe it's a marsupial bat, because a group of 8 would be like an octad. The qualities of a thief, this just doesn't feel like an adjective, so I'm going to say it's a bat. Wrong. Ogdode is a group of 8. Oh, with the same root as octo. Meanwhile, if I clicked on that shit, it would have said, no, idiot, that's an octad. What you're looking for is an Australian bat that only lives in New South Wales. Pamprodactylus, something to do with your fingers. Having all toes pointed forward. Hey! Tachydidaxy, something to do with rhythm. A very rapid method of teaching. And didact. Ooh! Yapok. It must be a series of opossum. Now we're getting there. We finally got there. He's figured out the vocabulary. Give me my SATs right now. Formerly used as an article of discipline in schools. The dunce cap. I know you're thinking he's going to go and say they should bring the dunce cap back. No, I was going to say the opposite. Can you believe they used to do that? You'd be so stupid in school, your teacher would make you wear a hat that said dumbass on it. Like, that's so cruel. Everybody already knows you're stupid, man. Don't make them put the hat on. That's too much. Not only was it real, it was so cruel that even in the 1800s, when kids were like working in mines, there were people that were like, we should get rid of the dunce cap. It's a little too cruel. I read the Wikipedia article on dunce caps like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. Because I was like, is that real? When people in the 1800s are like, this shit is fucked up, you know that it was really fucked up. Hey, you know what? While we're here, let's put a little cake topper on top of our Sporcle by doing our classic quizzes at the end. This looks like a hard quiz on Cine 2 Nerdle. Average score 3.8. Okay, I see werewolf. I see American. I'm thinking of American Werewolf in London. I also see what I'm assuming is Ginger Snaps Sisters Werewolf. Okay, start me here. There we go. And then we got Musical Twist Britain. I don't know that one right off the top. But American Werewolf in Britain. In London, I guess. And then this one is connected by nothing. Okay, well, hang on. You got to chill. Sisters Orphan. Ginger Werewolf. I'm putting your ass back here. And then musical was like here. Okay. Comedy. American Werewolf in London is a comedy. Okay, we're getting there. 8 swaps remain. These 3 are connected. And this one, I'm confused because this one's connected to nothing. Maybe that means it shouldn't be in this position. Give me American Psychopath Business Card Satire. This is now... Oh, this is our extra... Okay, hang on, and then swap these 2. This is American Psycho. What the heck is Orphan Musical Twist Britain? That's Oliver. Ace Ventura When Nature Calls! Let's go! Hey, a fellow man of culture. I'm a cinephile. I always laugh. It might be a national, it might even be an international chain of exterminators. But all the time in Vancouver, I see work trucks, and the business is called the Pest Detective. And I laugh every time. And then, you know what? While we're on movies, give me movie to movie. This is fucked up, man. Movie to movie's getting harder. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom to The Color Purple. I don't know anybody that's in The Color Purple. except I think Oprah's in it. So it's Indiana Jones and Jones and the Temple of Doom to Oprah. I can't think of anything that fucking Oprah's been in though. I might have to tap out before we start because otherwise I'm just flitting through movies that I'm. Surely Oprah has been in a movie where she plays herself, but it's not Austin Powers 2 because they use Jerry Springer for that. I believe Oprah has a cameo appearance while flicking channels in The Cable Guy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my own challenge. I'm going to start at The Cable Guy, and I'm going to get to Larry, the Cable Guy, health inspector. And then I just want to see if Oprah... Honestly, I think I have to tap out. You could start from the ending movie? Really? How do you start from the ending movie? Do I have to make like a custom challenge or what? Click the arrow. Okay. What now, shipbird? After you start. Motherfuckers all work for IKEA doing the instructions for the IKEA stuff. Cut it in half. Snip, snip, snip. Next word. Diagonally. Thanks a lot. Chat GPT-1. There you go. Okay. So we're trying to get to, be realistic, we're trying to get to Harrison Ford. Or possibly, I know that the guy who won Best Supporting Actor was Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which is in Everything Everywhere All at Once as well. Who else is in Everything Everywhere All at Once? That's the real... Because just wait a second, because I'm looking at this. I wanted to say Danny Glover. Everything Everywhere All at Once I have not seen, but I know that like at the IRS, they work in like a call center sort of thing. That got me thinking of Sorry to Bother You. Danny Glover's in Sorry to Bother You. Also has Stephen Yeun. This week's episode of Stephen Yeun Doesn't Miss. New Netflix show coming out. 8 episodes. Stephen Yeun, Ali Wong. All about a road rage incident gone wrong. He don't miss. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes already. Or maybe his Metacritic. 90 on Metacritic. He don't miss. He simply doesn't miss. Anyway. Man's name is really Adolf Caesar? Hey, we're not getting anything else out of that. What does Stephen Yeun have to do with anything? He's in a movie with Danny Glover, okay? It's called Sorry to Bother You. Maybe you've heard of it. I'm thinking that you go Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, an Expendables 3. Now, is Harrison Ford in this? Oh, ooh, and the Temple of Doom. It's a birdie. We haven't had a birdie in forever. What else do we do? Guess the game. Anytime we can connect through Expendables, that feels good. I know this game. This is Divinity Original Sin 2. I've seen this before. It's not Divinity. Maybe it is. Divinity Original Sin 2. Metacritic score of 86. This is League of Legends. I pass. It's a MOBA. This is Dota too. It's Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm. What a game. People hate me because I speak the truth. Heroes of the Storm, best MOBA because it had the lowest skill floor. And the games were short. And people stopped playing it, so the queue times got really long, so you couldn't lose your life to addiction. You do not, under any circumstances, have to hand it to Blizzard, but I will hand it to Blizzard. I really enjoyed Heroes of the Storm. That's Dan Behar. This was probably, it's obviously in the past, it's probably like 2006, 16, and this is, it looks like it's on Vancouver Island to me. I'm going to say this is post-World War I. We're at 1924. It's 1906. It's pre-World War I. How about that? A double-decker bus. To me, this looks like the kind of crowd you could only get when celebrating the end of a world war. So I'm going to say this is 1945. 1937. They were celebrating the start of a world war. Kind of problematic of them, honestly. Those are World War I ass helmets. We're going to put this at 1917. We take those. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is probably 2020. How did I know? Some hallmarks in that one. Yo, dude, this is so good. I mean, this, we should be able to get this down to a year. She's watching a will.i.am music video. She's got a standalone desktop computer with the white plastic. These keyboards were all the rage in the mid-2000s. Then on top of that, HTML4, Photoshop 6, JavaScript, Director 8. What the heck is a super woofer? I feel weird, like I'm just kibitzing on this woman's life. What kind of CDs you got in here? The CDRs? You've been burning CDs? Straight to prison? I think I see a Snorlax over there. Is that Isaac in the bottom corner of her screen? Bro, she's watching on VH1 Soul. You got a problem? Whoever put this on YouTube ripped it from VH1 Soul. Now, what I would say is, for me personally, the information I'm gleaning from this, the Black Eyed Peas were around in the early 2000s, but they didn't really get popular until around 04, 05. That's when let's get it started, don't funk with my heart sort of hit. So I'm thinking this is 05, and honestly, this looks remarkably like photos that are from like my first year of university. So I'm actually going to crank it forward one. I'm going to give YouTube time to gestate from 04 to 06. I'm going to say this is an 06 photo. It's 04. Okay, well, I overthought myself just a little bit, but still, it's pretty good. It might not be YouTube. That might be something downloaded off DivX for all I know. YouTube wasn't around in 04. Someone hasn't seen Greg at the zoo. Globla. Right, of course. I always forget about Globla. I didn't even do the Rotten Tomatoes daily. We always start with Algeria. Gives you a good base of operations. We're not even close. 7,000 kilometers away. I'm going to be straight up with you. Give me a Mongolia. 7,000 away further. I'm going to go ahead and take, give me an Argentina. 3,000 kilometers away from Argentina. Okay. Give me Panama. Oh! He's crazy. He's amazing. He sort of knows geography a little bit. That was really good. He's a maniac. Songs I hear way too much on the Peloton. It's on every 80s ride. It can cut you like a knife. Oh, when the truth becomes a fight. No, 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 no. It's a 4-word comedy drama from 2002. It's beloved by critics and by people. It's kind of crazy. A comedy that's more loved by the critics than the people. It must fucking suck. I know it's not this because this is 3 words, but plausibly I'm thinking it's something along the lines of like the Royal Tenenbaums. Powerful message to young women. Don't let social norms, cultural, traditional beliefs define what you're capable of accomplishing. It's one of those comedies that's not actually a comedy. It's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 1. Though I fault its clumsy execution, its message will resonate until scenes where women clutch their thick midsections in celebration are no longer exceptional. And next clue. A refreshing mother-daughter outing that will leave you with an empowered smile, a newborn respect for all changes of life, and a craving for flan. E2 Mama Tambien. I don't think it's E2 Mama Tambien. I skip. A vividly warm-hearted look at the Mexican-American experience. Real Women Have Curves. Never heard of that one. But you know what? I should watch it. It's beloved by all, apparently. Treadle! I forgot about Treadle! You're over, Rotten Tomatoes. You're done. $5 billion. They export a lot of knit t-shirts, coffee, tobacco, insulated wine. I mean, as soon as I see gold, I do think to myself that perhaps this is somewhere in Africa. Let's say this is Mali. It's 8,000 kilometers away to the west. Let's say this is Peru. They feel like they could sell a lot of knitted shirts. Oh, of course, northwest of Peru. Everybody knows that's Ecuador. Oh, northwest of that. Everyone could tell you with authority that is Colombia. Northwest of Colombia. Everyone could tell you that's Panama. Northwest of Panama. Of course, everyone knows that that is Costa Rica. Oh, it just keeps going, man. You got me. You give me one more guess, we get that one. I'm happy with our reasoning there, at least. And then, have we done them all? Is that all of them? All of the ones that I do. Well, we could always do the world's worst hurdle. Oh, Ragdoll, yeah, but I'm already on hurdle. Okay, so I described the song for you. Let's see if you can get it. It starts with just a... Honestly, that sounds like Wild Wild West to me by the album version. Nope. It starts with... Skip me again. There's no music yet. It's just a man's chilly breath. It goes... Oh, and then it goes... Dunga, dunga, dunga. It sounds like Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. Yes, it is. Okay, I've done it. That's easy enough. Also, Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Diener from Fubar 2. This does not work. I know. Ranktel. Can I zoom? That's every time I zoom in, it's zooming out. I'm zooming in. I'm zooming out. You gotta make scalable web design, dude. Okay. Either way. E4, E5. Oh, this is like Alakeen's opening, or so it's the King's Gambit. King's Gambit accepted. That seems a little crazy to me. You've blocked in your dark square bishop. Seems quite spicy. They've captured. Okay, this is a horrendous game. They could just take. Oh, maybe it makes sense to check first. You got danger levels. No, it made no sense to check first. Okay, this is a horrible. This is so, and they've just exposed their king. This is so okay. Again, it just. They've missed opportunities to capture pieces. They've both exposed their kings. It's like they definitely know unopening. They're doing checks just to check. They know openings and nothing else is what it seems like to me. So I would say it was somewhere around Chat's level. They're throwing pawns out there for no reason. This has to be 600 to 899 is my take. I submit. 863. We got 2 stars for that one. I feel like a genius. Next match. We go E4, Sicilian defense. Okay, immediately, this is an 1100 who thinks they're going to become a grandmaster. Knight to C6. It's booked so far as I remember. Okay, yeah, we're in the end game now, Tony. I will say, for me, it looks like it just fell apart on move 10. I'm going to say that that's 1100 to 1299. Correct elo 2012? 2012? Where? On Lee Chess? Maybe I'm missing some. Oh, wait, this is our new match here. Take me back to the previous match. You're just losing pawns. You're losing pawn. I guess you took a pawn in advance. Okay, never mind. I mean, this is crazy. It doesn't. I'm not saying I would beat them, but next match, E4, D5, Scandinavian. Okay, this is it's a 10-minute game. They are a 1400. Maybe they're at 2500 because they moved their queen back. You don't see that too much. This looks like 2 people afraid to play chess against each other to me. I'm analyzing. Looks like a bit of a closed game here. I mean, they seem pretty good. No, that seems horrendous. Okay, so there's your mistake. They basically, by moving their queen here, they open themselves up to a knight fork. That's a big mistake. Me personally, anybody, it can happen to anybody. I'm saying that's 1300 to 1499. 1082. 0 stars for that? That's painful. I gotta go ask my wife if she's ready to stream, honestly. One sec. I'm back. Ooh. I had my meeting with the bank yesterday. The guy was like, so what games have you been playing? I haven't been following gaming for a while. And I went off on an unhinged 5-minute long rant about how there have been no games released in the last 9 months. When he just had to politely go, oh, really? Wow. Like I was... Did you tell him about big ambitions? No, I was like, in the first few, like a year and a half of the COVID pandemic, all the games that were 90% done still managed to get completed roughly on schedule, even though studios transitioned to a hybrid work environment. But then there's been a delay, there's been a bottleneck in the release schedule. All the stuff that was like should have been being worked on between 2020 and 2022 has been a little bit slow to actually get further on in the pipeline. And it was basically like a therapy session. And he was peepo nodding me. I was peepo talking, he was peepo nodding. Did you cry? No, but I was like, mostly I just play like online trivia now. I wasn't ignoring his social cues. His job is to keep me happy. He's a nice guy too, but you know, I was like, here's some things for you to file. And he was like, thank you. And he was like, do you want to buy a GIC? And I was like, what is the rate? And he's like, well, we can give you like 4%. And I was like, I don't know, we'll talk about it. And then he was like, so how's work been lately? And then I was like, now is my time to shine. and yet no crosswords. I'm making a stand against dictionary.com because I don't think I should have to connect my email address to use their crossword app. I'm not drinking a verification can to do the crossword in the newspaper. Why should I have to give dictionary.com credentials in order to use their crossword app? You can do Washington Post crosswords. Yeah, but those are really hard. Those are tough. Anyway, I'll send you over to my wife's stream. We'll see if there's a better crossword website that doesn't require giving them identifying information. I don't mind giving identifying information, by the way, if I sign up for if I buy something online and they're like, what's your email address? I'm like, here you go. If I'm doing a crossword on a website and they're showing ads on the side of the screen, I'm not giving you any more data. Eat shit. You're already getting enough. I got cookies turned on. You should know your place. You're a crossword app. You don't need to know who I am. I'm just doing crosswords. You should be thankful that I'm on your website to begin with, you piece of junk. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night. Beep. This concludes our broadcast day. Click. You get a badge in the chat to identify ya. You're my subscribers. Thanks for 72 months. Thank you for the gift subs. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the tips. Come over to my place, baby, you're a wreck. That's an original.